Hello everyone, welcome back to our career counseling course by Psycho Shiksha. Today we are on the fourth session of our career counseling course and we are going to talk about role of personality in choosing a career. We all know that when we are doing a career counseling, we are attributing or assessing your four psychological attributes, that is your interest, your personality, your aptitude, and your intelligence. In the previous session, we have covered and talked about interest and which test we can apply to assess the interest of our subject or our client. Today, we are going to talk about role of personality, that why assessment of personality is an important parameter when we are choosing a career, and simultaneously what all tests we are going to cover or what all tests we can apply for to assess the personality of our subject. On this note, let us begin with the slides. An individual's personality makes them more adaptable to certain jobs. Personality tests give people an idea of their psychological makeup and can be a great tool when looking for a job. Knowing what personality type you are can help you discover the ideal job and work environment for your type. Selecting a career best suited for your personality type can result in a pleasant outcome in which you find the most suitable fit. Choosing a career not compatible with your personality may result in a stressful, unfulfilling, and unrewarding work environment. The importance of personality matching in a job search cannot be overstated. The first step in finding a career based on personality is to take a personality test. Now, it's very important that whenever we choose a career, if we are choosing it from our personality traits, depending upon our personality trait, we are going to have a comfortable environment to work in because that's what my true self is, and it is matching the work environment I'm working in. The first step whenever we are the first step whenever we are working or choosing a career based on our personality is to get a personality test done. There are various personality assessment tools available in the market, but what we are going to cover, we are going to talk about that only. After taking a personality test, you can have a better sense of your personality qualities. This helps you in researching what jobs are best for your personality type. Regardless of the test, most people fall into categories. They are either introverts or extroverts. The personality test assign others criteria such as sensing, feeling, or judging, but these are the two main attributes. Job hunters can research jobs by examining the type of environment that they would be working in to see if that is conducive of their type. Now, once the personality test is done and you know that what are your personality traits, majoritarily people fall into two categories, that is extrovert and introvert. Apart from that, people can also be categorized as sensing, feeling, judging, or further. But yes, job hunters, whenever we are, making somebody know about their personality type or their personality trait, we are simultaneously, telling them, we are making them self-aware that who they are, what they are good at, okay, what their personality looks like, and that will automatically help you to do better in whatever job they are going, and it will help them also to make a right pool of role and responsibilities they are entering into. Now, some list of personality tests used in career selection. Briggs and Myers Type Indicator, NEO-PIR, that is Big Five, Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, and Eysenck Personality Questionnaire. In our course, we are covering Briggs and Myers Type Indicator, NEO-PIR, that is Big Five Personality Test, and Eysenck Personality Questionnaire. Inventories are generally applicable by only clinical psychologists, counseling psychologists, or career counselors cannot apply them. So that's why we are not covering it, but the rest three will be covered in our course. Personality traits and careers. Now, first, we are going to start with Eysenck Personality Questionnaire, and Eysenck Personality Questionnaire help us to examine the personality on three dimensions: extroverts and introverts, psychoticism versus sociability, neuroticism versus emotional stability. Each dimension has its own definition and own meaning. But as we know that extroverts and introverts come to be the primary focus of personality trait, we have some career based on your extroverts and introverts. Now, extroverts are the people who are very outgoing, who like to talk to people, who are very sociable, and they get energy by talking and interacting with other people, not by just sitting in a cubicle room. On the other hand, introverts are the exact opposite of extroverts. Such people are like to spend time with themselves. They like to spend more time in their own zone, alone time. They like, they cherish it. And apart from that, they are not very talkative and not very outgoing. Now, let's say what all occupations suited them, the extroverts. If a personality test reveals that an individual has extroverted tendency, this person would tend to be more outgoing and social. Individual with this type of personality crave social groups and connections. They are energized by brainstorming sessions with co-workers, and they tend to like open office spaces with frequent collaboration with peer. Jobs in sales, marketing, and customer service give extroverted individuals the social interaction they crave for. Someone with this type of personality would probably not be happy building websites at home by themselves or being the nighttime security guard at an empty factory. So we understood that extroverts are the one who like social interaction. So if they work somewhere where no social interaction is there, no teamwork is there, they're just with themselves, they're not going to be very happy working in that type of environment. Careers for introverts. Introverts are the direct opposite of extrovert. Instead of drawing energy from group, introverts find social interaction to be energy sapping. Although introverts are not loners, they do tend to be more analytical and introspective. You will find many introverts in the world of finance and accounting. Spending long hours alone looking at spreadsheets is not a challenge for someone with this type of personality. IT related jobs are also a good fit for introverts, but even though personality typing is important, it should not preclude you from pursuing a dream job. Now, introverts are the people who like to spend alone time, but they are not loners. And also, a word that sometimes used for introverts are antisocial. It's a very wrong word. Antisocial is not somebody who do not like to socialize. Antisocial is someone who is going against the societal norms. So that's not what introverts do. Introverts are someone who like to analyze, sit with themselves, analyze the data, analyze the scene. Investigative energies are there in them. But still, whatever your personality typing is, if you have a dream job, there could be some role and responsibility you're not comfortable with. But if you have figured out that this is what I want to, this type of a job where I see myself, you can surely work on your personality traits or work within yourself to achieve that goal and work in harmony with your personality trait and with your occupation. Now, before we move on to Big Five personality trait, let's first understand about Eysenck Personality Questionnaire that we are going to cover today. Eysenck Personality Questionnaire assess your personality on three dimensions, as we have discussed earlier. Introverts and extrovert is one of them. The second dimension is psychoticism versus sociability. Psychoticism are the people who are very impulsive, they are very quick at decision making and have negative emotions like hostility and impulse a lot. Okay. On the other hand, sociability are the people who considerate about other people. They have traits of being empathetic towards them. They considerate other person's opinion and are not very quick at making any decisions. They're not restless. On the other hand, the third dimension that Eysenck Personality Questionnaire measures is neuroticism versus emotional stability. Neuroticism is a trait that represents emotional instability, people who have no control over their own emotions or cannot understand or control other person's emotions are fall in the category of neuroticism. On the other hand, people who are emotionally stable have good hold of their own personality traits, of their own emotions, along with that have a good understanding for others' emotions as well. On this note, let us start with the test. Okay. Now, this is Eysenck Personality Questionnaire, and the questionnaire consists of around 90 items, and you have to answer each item with yes or no. Yes or no to all the 90 items, depending upon if you relate to the item, say yes. If you do not feel very related to the item, you can directly say no. This test basically evaluates you on four parameters. L stands for lie scale. This test also tells us that whether the subject is lying on certain grounds or not, if they're saying, coming up with social desirable answers. P stands for psychoticism, E stands for extroversion, and N stands for neuroticism. So there are 90 items and you have to say yes and no to each question. And do not spend too much time, although there's no time limit in this test. Just whatever comes to your mind, the first thought that comes to your mind after reading a statement, answer that way. Spending too long will definitely result in social desirability. Otherwise, and spending too less means that you have not introspected nicely. So, for example, do you have many different hobbies? I would say no. I know I have a very limited number of hobbies. Do you stop to think things even before doing anything? No, I do not think too much. I just do it. Does your mood often go up and down? No. Have you taken the praise for something you knew someone else had really done? No. Are you a talkative person? Yes. Would being deaf worry you? Yes. Now there will be some items that do not convey a very right meaning to you. You can surely put them, search the words on internet to get the correct meaning, because these tests are converted from British English to normal English in a Hindi adaptation or an Indian adaptation. So there could be an error in grammatical errors can be there, but otherwise this test is completely reliable, valid, and standardized. Now, once the subject has done the questionnaire, we come to the scoring part. This is Eysenck Personality Questionnaire scoring. Now, how the scoring has to be done? There is this written P, psychoticism. If a subject has marked yes on question number 22, 26, 30, 33, 43, 46, 50, 65, 67, 74, 76, 79, 83, and 87, they will be marked yes, they will be marked 1 mark. And if your subject has marked no on item number 2, 6, 9, 11, 18, 53, 57, 61, 71, and 90, you will be giving them 1 mark. And if this vice versa, 0 shall be given. For example, if on item number 22, your subject has marked no, you will give them 0. If on item number 26, your subject has marked yes, you will give them 1 mark. If on item number 30, your subject has marked no, you will give them 0. On 33, if it's no, give them 0. Same, if on item number 2, your subject has marked no, you'll give them 1. If on item number 6, they have marked yes, you will give them 0. So that's how to be done. Same, neuroticism, if your subject has marked yes on these items, you will give them 1. If they have marked no on any of these item number, you will give them 0. Just like that, for extroversion also, if your subject has marked yes on these item numbers, you will give them 1 mark. If your subject has marked no on these item number, you will give them 1 mark. And if it's opposite, you'll give them 0. Similarly, for the lie scale, if your subject has marked yes on these item number, you will give them 1 mark. If your subject has marked no on these item numbers, you will give them 1 mark. And if it's opposite, you'll give them 0. Now, once you have generated your raw score, you need to convert the raw score of each dimension into a STEM score. So let's say in the P in psychoticism, you get a raw score of 5. Your simultaneous STEM score will become 6. The interpretation is on the basis of STEM score, not on the basis of raw score. Just like that, if the STEM score in neuroticism is 9, it converts down to the STEM score 5. Extroversion, if a subject has a raw score of 20, it converts down to a STEM score of 8. In lie scale, if a subject has a raw score of 10, it converts into a STEM score of 7. Now, here, the one thing that you need to remember is that if the STEM score in lie scale is 8 or above 8, you are going to scrap the results. We are not going to consider it because it means that the subject has given so much of socially desirable answers that we cannot take them for further interpretation. Now, once you have converted your raw scores into STEM scores, you can interpret them with this table. So if it's 1 to 3, it means you're low. If it's 4 to 6, it's average. It's 7 to 8, it's above average. And 9 to 10 is high. Each dimension have been explained very nicely in the EPQ manual. Here is the interpretation given that what an extreme high score on extroversion mean and a low score on introversion mean. What does a typical extrovert looks like? What does a typical neurotic look like? What does a typical psychotic person look like? And you can write about them. But yes, this will not tell you about their occupation directly. The test will only going to tell you about their personality trait. The occupation you need to, as a career counselor, match up that, okay, if somebody is very extroverted, you know they cannot work somewhere where there's no social interactions. Okay. Or somebody who is emotionally unstable, they cannot work where there is some kind of emotional stability is required, for example working in armies or working for higher positions. And generally people with high score on neuroticism and psychoticism have no such great option of jobs. It's for their self-awareness and for them to learn that they need to work on certain aspects of their personality. So this is how Eysenck Personality Questionnaire works like. Now, on this ground, we'll end today's session. In the next session, we will be continuing from personality only and we'll be doing 2 personality tests, that is Big Five and MBTI. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye, everybody.